Hey guys, in this design lab you are going to see how to make a beautiful Twitter post for either a Twitter ad or for just tweeting on your page. So let's get into it now. Okay, here we go. I'm going to look through to see if there are any templates that are kind of similar graphically or maybe even different. It's really important that when you create designs and you're sharing them on multiple social media sites, that you create different looking designs so people don't always see the same exact image. That's a mistake a lot of people make. You should make multiple images for each promotion. And it's so easy on Canva to pump out a few that it's really not that hard. So let's look through and let's find something that I really like. How about this? Since our design is a winter sale, maybe we could use something like this. Let's go ahead and pull up that same color of orange that I had copied. And we're going to change this, of course, to something that looks a little better. I'm going to make it white. And yeah. No, you know what? I don't like that. Let's change this. We want it to look like a different image, but it's basically accomplishing the same goal by getting viewers' attention with a pretty design and then also telling them about what you're doing. So in this case, it's our winter sale. So we can say here, whoops, right in the middle, that's where our attention will be drawn. Winter Sale 2015. Awesome. And I'm going to change this text to say something about the savings people will have. Save up to 90%. And let's think here, what would be effective? Save up to 90%. Winter Sale 2015 ends soon. It's really important that you provide a sense of urgency for your customers when they see your post and it says ends soon. That makes them think, oh, I need to act now. I need to act soon so that I don't miss this awesome deal. With a beautiful design, you'll attract their attention, and your text here that you include will help them to understand the urgency of your request. I notice here that this is not quite centered, so I'm going to move it down, and this one I'm also going to move down. Now, when we look at that, these should be spaced to the same distance that these are. And it's a little funny because the text is kind of curly and kind of goes higher and lower in places where it normally wouldn't. So it's a little tricky to determine whether or not your design is truly centered. But using the guides here, we can see that it is fairly close to being centered. That's good enough for me. I like that. However, I'm not a really big fan of these little animations. I don't think that they look very good. So let's try to find something else that's a little more appropriate. Conveniently, they have a nice holidays section here, which it looks like right now it's themed like Thanksgiving, but I know that there are also some other things in here all about Christmas and the holidays, other than Christmas as well. So we can include something nice like this, maybe season's greetings in the background. I'm going to change the scale. I'm going to make this black, and then I'm going to send it to the background. Now, I'm going to make this a little bit more behind, and I'm going to make it really big. So it's just kind of floating there in the background. And we're going to make this really subtle, almost kind of a hint in the background. You almost can't see it. And that would look nice. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I don't know if that's appropriate because the font is kind of distracting from the text here, and we don't want that. So let's get rid of that. Maybe let's find something else that might be a little more appropriate, like a graphic or some type of picture. Let's drop in one of these bells. I like how that looks. And I'm even going to give it a nice little 45-degree angle here. Notice how it snaps at that 45-degree angle. I'm going to drop the size, and I'm going to see if I can fit it in right here. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I'm going to create a copy, and I'm going to drag it over here. Notice how the guides here kind of snap and help me to stay centered and aligned. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to do my best to make this flip without modifying the angle. I could rotate it, but I'm going to show you another way to do it. The way I'm going to do that is just by grabbing the rotate tool, and it'll snap again at an alternate angle. Now that looks pretty good. I think I need to add something in the middle though. It's not quite right. what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to move, whoops, make sure I get all three. I'm going to move this up as soon as it's centered so that the bells are kind of hovering right over the winter sail. And I'm going to add a cup of cocoa right here. And let's make sure it's centered. Another bug about Canva is that sometimes the designs that you make will disappear into the background, but it just takes either a refresh or changing the size of the image to fix it. Now that's okay. I think that's pretty good. And I'm going to change it to that green color that we're using in our design. However, I don't really like it. So let's make it a little bigger. And let's move it here, maybe to the background. Let's see what we can do. The number one thing about graphic design that's really important is that you are open to experimenting and trying new things, because your first design may not be your best. It's really important that you continually work on tweaking your designs and finding what looks good, because if it looks good, then it'll probably be attractive to your customers. A good way to test this is just to simply send out a few images to your friends and say, which ones do you guys like? Which ones would you click on if you were given an option? When I saw this, I immediately thought this would fit in perfectly right here at the bottom. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to move these back down so they're centered. Let's see. No, I think I'm missing something here. I'm going to move it back up a little bit. There we go. I like it. I think that looks pretty good. So now that my Twitter post is done, I can name this Twitter Winter Sale Promo. This can be used as a Twitter ad, or you can use it as just a simple Twitter post for your business or for your web store or for whatever else you do. I'm going to name this, oh actually, perfect, that's already named Winter Sale 2015. So now for our company, we have a promotion here for our winter sale. We have another promotion here that looks different but is still promoting the same thing. And we have two effective ways to get buyers or new customers to click on our links, click on our photos, and just to build a network of people who want to buy our stuff. Because as businessmen, as people who sell things, that's really what you want, is for people to go to your site and to buy your stuff. You want conversions. And that's what these images can do. One thing before we finish, I noticed that this is not including our company name. How can you make a promo without your company name? You don't need it. It's not a must, but it is helpful. I noticed that this is using the same font that I always use, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can duplicate it by clicking copy. Perfect. I'm going to move it up, and I'm going to try my best to center it right here, and then increase the size, because we want our logo to stand out. I'm going to delete this here and type Smart Cycle. There's our company name. I'm going to center it. Perfect. And I'm going to change the color to that red promo color. Now let's raise it up there, make it a bit bigger. And I think we have ourselves here a promotion. That looks pretty good to me. One last thing, let's go ahead and add a line right underneath Smart Cycle to separate it from the promotion itself. I think that would add a little bit more that we might need. So let's drop in a line here. I like this dotted dashed line. I'm going to change it to that green color that we have in the background, and I'm going to reduce the size. And then I'll go to the stretch element by using that horizontal tool, and I'll stretch it out so that it stays the same size, but I can move it without making it bigger. Let's go ahead and shrink it down a little bit because I don't need it to be quite that big. And at this point, we can drop it down. There's that. I'm going to move it up a tiny bit. And I don't like how that's in front of the Y in Smart Cycle, so I'm just going to move it back behind that letter. Now that we're done, we've created a beautiful promotional banner using Canva. We've created a beautiful promotional image using... Now that we're done, we've created a beautiful Twitter post or Twitter ad, And we've created a beautiful Facebook post. This wouldn't be good for a Facebook ad because I'm pretty sure this is more than 20% text. I'll show you how to check it in the next lecture. Thank you for watching this design lab. In the assignment to follow, please either copy this design or use the elements and the skills that you've learned in this lesson to create your own Facebook or Twitter post for advertising for an imaginary company. Enjoy yourself. Have fun, and I look forward to seeing what you post.